Welcome to City on the Hill Kids Church Online.
I'm Lola.
And I'm Jimmy.
Today we're going to be continuing our series of Praying the Psalms. Today we're going to be looking at Psalm 63.
But that will be after a time of worship.
Psalm 63, 1 through 4. Psalm 63, 1 through 4.
Oh God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you. In a dry and weary land where there is no water. Oh God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you. In a dry and weary land where there is no water. Oh God, you are my God. I've seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. I've seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. Oh God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you. In a dry and weary land where there is no water. Oh God, you are my God. I've seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. I've seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. Oh God, you are my God. Oh God, you are my God. Oh God, you are my God. I've seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life. I've seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. My hands. Oh God, you are my God. God, you are my God. Oh God, you are my God. Oh God, you are my God. I've seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life. Your love is better than life. Seen you in the sanctuary, beheld your power and your glory. Beheld your power and your glory. Your love is better than life. God, you are my God. Your love is better than life.
We are continuing in the series of Praying the Psalms. Remember, we said that a psalm is a song or a hymn or a poem written by people but inspired by the Holy Spirit. Many of the psalms are written by King David. And one thing we can also remember is that these psalms can also be used as prayers. Today we are going to be looking at Psalm 63, and this is another psalm written by King David. David was running away from King Saul, who was trying to do him harm for no reason. He had just escaped from the Philistine city of Gath, where he had pretended that he was a madman, and a prophet told him that he should go into the wilderness of Judah to hide so that he wouldn't be caught by King Saul. So that's what he did. He went into the Judean wilderness, into a cave with 400 of his men. Before this, he had to get his parents to safety because King Saul was also going to do them harm, all because of David. And meanwhile, David hadn't done anything wrong. So he sent them to safety with the king of Moab. It's on the background of all these difficulties that King David wrote this psalm. I'll read it for you. Psalm 63. O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you. In a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. So I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory. Because your loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise you. Thus I will bless you while I live. I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you on my bed, I meditate on you in the night watches. Because you have been my help, therefore in the shadow of your wings I will rejoice. My soul follows close behind you. Your right hand upholds me, but those who seek my life to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth. They shall fall by the sword. They shall be a portion for jackals, but the king shall rejoice in God. Everyone who swears by him shall glory, but the mouth of those who speak lies shall be stopped. You'll notice that this psalm is a prayer where David doesn't ask for anything despite the challenges he was going through. He only talks about the difficulties that he's having and then speaks to God, telling him how he praises him. That is how David praises God and what he does to get closer to him. Can you imagine that? You know, it's a bit of a challenge for us to be going through things, and when we pray to God, not to ask him to take these challenges away from him and just saying, oh God, you are so great and I love you and all that. It's a challenge to do that, but it can be done. And you know what? God will always deliver you from whatever challenge that you have when you do such a thing. You can read more about what happened to David in 1 Samuel chapter 22 and also in Psalm 63. And that's the end of the story.
Hey guys! So in Psalm 63 verse 1, David is talking about how he's earnestly seeking God, how his soul thirsts for God. And so I thought today, even though I know it's November, we're going to pretend it is a hot, dry day and we are desperate for a lovely cold drink. And we're going to make this fun drink craft to remind us of the way that we should be thirsting after God our soul needs God in the same way that our body needs water on a hot, dry day. So this is a fun craft to make. And to start with, you just need a white piece of paper and we're going to make our glass shape. So for this, you want to use a ruler probably to get the sides straight. And I made my one, it's about 6 centimeters along the bottom. And then putting the ruler up at an angle, I made it about 13 centimeters. Now, unless you're using a protractor to measure the angles, difficult to get it absolutely exactly even on both sides. But what you want is just a shape like this. And then, because this is a kind of a fun drink, we're going to colour it in rainbow colours. You can use any colour you want, but this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to leave a gap at the top for the top of the glass, and then I'm going to start colouring it in using crayons in rainbow stripes. Now, you're going to cut it out, so it doesn't matter if you go over the edge. In fact, it's quite good because then you've definitely gone all the way to the edge. So we'll just go down with these different colours. As you know, I'm a big fan of crayons when we've got a big area to cover. So we'll get these, we'll do a blue. Not exactly sure how many colours I'm going to need to fill in the space. There we are. Okay, so once you've coloured it all in like that, you want to cut it out, and you'll have something like this. Now the next part that we're going to make are these things, which could be like slices of orange or lemon, or they could just be a little fancy decoration. Now, to make those, what you want is about half the length or half the width of a piece of A4. So if you cut a strip off the shorter edge of A4 and then cut that in half, that'll be enough to make two. Now this one is orange paper, obviously, so these are going to be like slices of orange. You can see one that I've already made here, and I didn't have yellow paper, but I just coloured some paper in yellow on both sides and made that. And we're just going to fold it into a fan. We've done this before, so you just fold one way, the other way, keep folding back and forth all the way along. And once you've got it folded into the fan, you want to fold it in half in the middle, like this. And then we're just going to glue those two middle bits together. So we're using quite a lot of Pritt Stick in this, or paper glue in this craft. There we are. So we'll fold that around, glue those two sides together, and you can see that opens up into a nice shape like this. And as I say, these can be like slices of orange. You could do a yellow one to be a slice of lemon. I've got a couple here that I've already made, so those are ready. Now, another thing that we need are these bubbles. Now, you could just draw these on afterwards, but because you're going over lots of different colours, it's probably better if you cut them out. So again, you can cut them out of coloured paper, or for these ones I thought I'd make pink and purple bubbles, and I've just coloured some paper in pink and purple and I've cut out all of these circles. And then the final thing that we're going to need before we assemble it is the straw. Now for the straw, we're using a similar technique. We used it before, I can't remember what we were making, but basically we're going to make a square. So take the corner of your A4 that's left over from making your glass and fold it down like that. And then we're going to just cut, but we're going to cut slightly bigger. When you see this, you'll remember us doing this before. We're going to cut slightly bigger so there's a gap around there, and we're going to colour that in the colour that we want the stripes on our straw to be. So this one, I'm going to make a purple striped straw. Oops. So what we've got is this square folded up, but then that gap coloured in purple. And then with that coloured side facing downwards, we're going to start to roll it up like this. So we've got these nice purple and white stripes. And then there are these two flaps at the end that we need to, oops, stick down. Because I let go, the whole thing's completely unrolled. Let's just roll that up again. There we are. And you've got two little flaps. There we go. So once you've got all of the different sections, then you're just going to need to assemble it. So choose a colour of paper for the background, or it could be white, and we'll start to stick down, let's take the lid off the glue, the different pieces. So stick the glass down first in the kind of centre towards the bottom of the page, because there is going to be some writing to do. Then next I would stick on the orange and lemon slices. Now it's much easier to put the glue onto the paper than try to put it onto the fan. But if you put it onto the paper and then just press that fan shape on and leave it for a while, it will stick down because it's got enough paper edges. So there's an orange and a yellow. Then the next thing I'm going to put on is the bubbles, and I'm going to put some bubbles actually inside the glass because the bubbles are rising up, and then I'm going to put some up above the glass as if they're rising up and popping out at the top, because this is a nice fizzy cold drink. There we go. Put on a few. I've chosen a purple background for this because I'm doing pink and purple bubbles and a purple straw. The whole thing is a pink and purplish one, but you could choose any colour scheme, or you can make the whole thing really multicoloured like the drink. Good, so once you've got the bubbles stuck on, the last thing is the straw. So I'm just going to bend the straw over at the top. There we are. And we'll put some glue onto here, onto one of those edges. Stick that in. Okay. Not sure if that's left that long enough to stick. So here we have our drink. Now you can see on this one, which came out paler colours, I decided to go around all of the different sections in pen. So I took a Sharpie and went around the edge of the bubbles and across where the different colours went. But this one actually has come out much brighter. I don't think I need to do that. So all I need to do now is take a pen, and I'm going to write the section of the Bible verse. My soul, and then I'm colouring, oops, one bit of lemon has come off. I'm going to use a different colour for the word thirsts, so that stands out. Thirsts for you. And you, in this case, is God. So I'm giving a capital letter. My soul thirsts for you. And then I'll write the reference. Psalm 63, verse 1. So here we have it, a lovely summery drink to brighten up a cold November day and to remind you that you want to be desperate for God. Seek Him with all of your heart, just like you would desperately seek a cool drink on a hot, dry day. And that is going to be a wonderful, refreshing thing for you to do. Well, I hope you enjoyed this craft. I will be back again next week for another craft on the Psalms. Bye!
I like it that Psalms are not just poems and songs, but they can also be used in prayer.
Yes, that's great. Sometimes when I pray, I get stuck with what to say. It's nice to open up the Psalms and read and use those words to pray.
Yes, but it's important to actually read them or have it read to you. From today's story, we learn how David made his trouble into a psalm.
I wonder if I would be able to do that.
What?
Write psalms about the things that happened in my life.
Oh yes, you probably could. That's how singers make their songs nowadays. But in this case, it will be a praise to God.
Oh!
That's it for this week.
Till next time.
Bye.